Hey guys, what's up? Got a different type of video here. It's dark out right now, as you can see. I'm filming on a new camera, so this is going to be the first video posted on my new camera, which is a Sony a6900 mirrorless camera, which is a big upgrade from what I had last year, which was my iPhone. I got a light on me, which is probably way too bright and highlighting my face in ways that I shouldn't. But I needed to get a little practice in because deer season's opening next week. So to get to what this video is about is how do you film your hunts with an iPhone. I will start out by saying that I am by no means an expert. I am not a videography guru. I've stumbled my way through, and most of these things I've learned the hard way. And scouring through YouTube, there's not a lot out there on how do you film your hunts with an iPhone. You can find things on gear. So I'm not going to go over a whole lot of gear related things, but the tips and tricks for an iPhone. Honestly, or a Galaxy, if that's your cup of tea, I won't judge you for it. But iPhone is superior. I will say this here is an iPhone 13 Pro Max. So when I talk about some of the different settings, I'm not sure with the 14, 15, 16 if the settings are different, if the cameras are different. I haven't used one, so I'm purely speaking from what I have, but the same principles will apply. So I guess number one would be you have to get some sort of camera arm. This here is a 4th arrow camera arm with the cell phone attachment. They run about $170, which I understand is expensive. There are some cheaper options out there. I think that there's a Muddy arm that's a lot cheaper but a lot heavier. But it's really your only investment. There's not a lot of money that goes into this. You already have the phone. So if it were me, I would go with that. But like I said, this isn't going to be a gear video. But you do have to have one. You have to get you a camera arm so that you can get good quality footage. And then I guess tip number 2 would be, if you could, it's not necessarily, get a GoPro for a second angle camera that you can keep running on yourself. One is so that you can create some, once again, I'm not a videography expert, so I don't even know the correct terminology, but some with the different angles, it gives you some depth in your video. You know, if I'm shooting here and then I move to a GoPro and I start talking to it and I come back, you could switch back and forth in your editing, and it just makes a video look a little better. It is by no means a requirement or necessity. But that leads into my tip number 3, which is that you cannot film too much. You would be best to keep a camera running the entire time, which is kind of where that GoPro comes in, because when you're filming with your phone, you're going to be getting text messages and, you know, you're responding to that, or maybe you're looking at OnX, or maybe you're looking at trail camera pictures or whatever. And if you're doing that, you're not filming. So with the second angle camera, you can get a lot of that footage that you're missing out on. But like I said, it's not a necessity. You just want to film as much as you possibly can. Every single video I've done, when I went back into the post editing portion of it, there was things that I wish I would have captured, and you just can't recreate it, or you can't recreate it in an authentic way. So with that tip, you know, just film as much as you possibly can. You can always delete, but you can't add it back. And then we'll go into the 4th tip, which is always film in landscape mode. Don't turn your phone vertically. Always keep it horizontal. And every single clip, do not switch back and forth. It'll make your video look really choppy if you're switching back and forth between holding the phone vertically and horizontally. So, which is another benefit with this camera arm, because it holds it horizontally. So as long as you're filming in there, you're filming that in that landscape mode. But when it's off the camera arm, whether it's, you know, you're at the truck getting ready to walk in, or hey, you shot a deer, now you're tracking it, or you're doing a recovery video or whatever. Landscape, 100% of the time. Don't change that. And then I guess we'll go into the next tip, which would be into some of the settings. With the iPhone, you can change it manually every single time you start a video, or you can change it in your settings. I recommend your settings. But film everything in 4K 24. I've been bad about that, and I thought that I needed to film everything in 4K 60, which 60 frames per second. But your eye naturally sees 4K 24, so it creates a more realistic looking video. That being said, is if you are going to do any sort of slow motion, you do want to up your frame rate, and you want to go as high as you can. I want to say that the iPhone is 60 frames per second is the max in 4K. But the higher frame rates you can in any slow motion clip, you want it, otherwise it'll look really choppy. And I can show you some examples of that because I've made that mistake myself. My next tip on this would be that when you're filming, and you can see this in so many people's videos that they may be posting on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, whether it's a family vacation or a concert or whatever, they're zooming in and out constantly, and you don't want to do that. With my iPhone, you don't really want to go above 3x zoom, which is an optical zoom. Once you go above 3x, you're in a digital zoom, and when you're in that digital zoom, that's where you get a lot of that pixelation, and you don't have a lot of clarity in your video clips. But in filming in, say, 2x or 3x at a max, when you go to edit, you can crop in, you can zoom in while you're editing. So there's not really a reason to be zooming in and out. If you have the time while you're in the tree, you always could zoom into 3x to set that on your shot. But I'll also tell you that it's difficult to get the camera back on the deer after you shoot, so being zoomed out a little bit does help because you can track it in your editing. And then the next tip with that would be, don't be moving the camera all over the place. I understand, when a deer's coming in, you have a moving object, a moving target that you're trying to video, and you have to film it. And that's one of the beauties of the camera arm. That has a fluid head on it. You can easily turn it. Just try not to be choppy. Be intentional with what you're doing, and you can create some really good video with the iPhone doing that. So 4K 24, landscape mode. Do not zoom in and out a bunch, and don't zoom over 3x if you have a camera similar to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Every phone is different. I don't even know what the new phone settings are, what they can go up to in an optical zoom, but don't leave that optical zoom for a closer image in the digital zoom, because it will not look as good. Especially when you edit it. Not everybody watches your videos on their phone screen, which is small. I know some people that watch my videos will cast it to their TV, and if you have digital zoom, well, it's going to create pixelation, and you throw that up on a 60-inch TV, it'll really stand out. So keep under that 3x zoom, and your videos will look better. The next part of this would be that you have to learn some editing, and I have fumbled my way through. I don't know everything about the programs I use. I'll tell you, if you just want a really easy way to put video clips together, you can throw in a little text, you can change some audio, you can change some color on your video clips, and it's not too difficult to learn. There's an app you can get on your phone called Premiere Rush, it's ran by Adobe, and I edit a whole bunch of videos on there. I actually edited a video today on Premiere Rush on my hunt ball unboxing video that I posted earlier. But if you really want to get into some more high-tech editing, what I use is Adobe Premiere Pro, and there's a ton of videos on YouTube on how to use it and tips and tricks and whatnot. And some of those videos are fairly long, 2 or 3 hours, and I have watched them over and over. I don't know how to do everything. I know how to do what I'm trying to do in my videos. And Josh Bomar, like him or hate him or whatever, but he did a video where he was talking about his camera gear, and he said on hunting video, good enough is good enough, essentially. So you don't have to have professional cinematic gear for your hunting videos, and I believe that also. You know, just having something is better than nothing. And even if you don't follow these tips and it's all choppy and you're zooming in and out, you'll see when you go to edit it. But still, it's better than nothing. So filming, filming everything you can. And then I'll just kind of go over some other basic tips with you. Is that me personally, I shoot my bow right-handed. And a lot of people will tell you to put it on your right side so that you can run your fluid head with your right hand while holding your bow in your left. But for me, that doesn't work. So I film with it on my left side, even though I hold my bow. So I'll reach over, do what I need to do with my camera, because I don't like it in my way. And I feel like it's in my way when it's on my right side. And talking about this kind of leads into another tip, is to practice. Be intentional with your videos and try to think through them. Think what you want it to look like. The more practice you have, similar to what I'm doing right now, filming at night, the better your videos are going to be in the long run. So sometimes I do a lot of videos that I don't post, but I'll shoot in the backyard and I'll shoot a video and I'll edit that down and I'll see, oh, that looked terrible, or hey, I really like the way that looked, I need to try to remember to do that again. But the more practice you have, the better your videos are going to be. You can't expect to go out on October 1st and you didn't practice anything at all. You just bought a camera arm and think that your video is going to look like Chris B video or a Brian Call gritty film. It's not. They have professional editing teams, professional camera footage, but more importantly is that they're intentional. They think through, they storyboard what their video is going to look like. And I understand that storyboarding a hunting video is very difficult. I've tried to do it. I did it last year. But you don't know when it's going to happen. You can't pick the perfect time that you're going to shoot your buck, or what day it's going to be, or what the weather's going to be like, or what your lighting is going to be like. And that part of it is difficult, but still be intentional. Think about what you want and plan it through. And then I guess my number one most important tip here is that if you truly want to self-film your videos and you want your kill shots on, you have to really want it. Meaning that for me, and Jared Mills talks about this also, not that I'm anywhere in the same category as Jared, because I'm not. But if you can't get it on video, don't shoot. And I understand that's a hard thing to do for a lot of people. It was very hard for me. And I had a lot of times I would try to film, and if you go back to my very beginning of my channel, you can see some terrible footage where I was trying to film, but filming wasn't the priority, killing the deer was. But once I changed that mindset of, if it's not on film, I'm not shooting, my videos did start to change. And you could see the progression through my channel. I've thought about deleting some of the videos because they are so bad. But you know, it's good to look back on and kind of see where I started and where I am now. And, you know, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I have learned a lot of things the hard way. And when you're self-filming, bow hunting is hard enough as it is. To get a buck in bow range, and you have to get your release clipped on, and you have to get your draw or your bow drawn back, and you got to settle that pin, and you got to shoot that buck. That's hard enough. And then throw in a camera and the movement that creates, and making sure you have record on, and getting focused, and that you're not out of focus, and all that. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to do, but if you will, or you can commit to that, you'll be happy that you did when you get that kill shot on footage. It is very rewarding to me, and it's added a new aspect of hunting for me. Um, you know, I've killed quite a few deer in my life, and you'll hear people say over and over that if you lose the excitement, you'd quit hunting, and it's the same for me. If I lost that excitement, I think I would quit. But filming adds a whole new aspect to it. It's like I'm starting over. I'm learning all these things about it that I just never knew. So that's a good part of it. And then I guess the last thing I'll leave you with is that anything is better than nothing. If you're not getting it on film, then you just don't have it. So film whatever you can. Anything is better than nothing. Storytelling is such an important part of deer hunting, and it's a huge part for me. I think I might like the storytelling portion of deer hunting better than I like the deer hunting portion. Meaning, if you go to a deer camp, sitting around the fire at night, telling all your buddies or your family or whoever you're hunting with the story of your hunts throughout that day and what you saw and your experiences, it has more pull on me than actually being in the stand. Although I love deer hunting, I live and breathe it. That storytelling is such an important part, and that's where this filming comes in. I also understand that this isn't for everybody. Not everybody's gonna enjoy it. Maybe it adds stress to your life. Maybe there's when I say if it's not on film, don't shoot. You think that's the craziest thing you ever heard. That's totally okay. But if you're the type like me who loves the storytelling portion, then I think you'll really love it. And from there, I guess I'd just say that deer season is next week for us here in Indiana. Anyway, I know some states are already in, but it's time to get out there. Start practicing with your camera. Practice with your phone. Jump on Amazon or Fourth Arrow's website. Order you a camera arm, and just get out there and do it. If you start filming your own hunts, post a comment down below. Tell me your channel. I'll go check it out for sure. Anyway, good luck, guys. I hope you all kill giants. I hope that I have some videos to come bring you this year, whether they're myself or my daughters or my wife or my dad or brother, whoever. I hope I can put some videos together. And anyway, good luck. Catch you on the next one. Deer season's right here. See ya.